We are going to dive into the RV-250 project, and you'll want to hear every twist and turn. Welcome to RV Out West. I'm your host, Brooks. My family of four's base camp is located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and our RV adventures radiate out from there. Please grab a mug of coffee and join us as we discuss RVing around the American West. From sweet camping spots, gear and equipment, to tips and tricks, we've got you covered. We are RV Out West. Welcome back to the show, friends. I hope the holiday break gave you a chance to slow down, recharge, and maybe even dream a little about the next road ahead. We're back with a fresh energy, and you might have already noticed one of the changes. We've rolled out a new podcast artwork. So if you see something looks a little different in your podcast app, that's us turning the page into a new season. We're also getting ready to launch our very first RV Out West newsletter. It's going to bring episodes straight to your inbox, along with destination travel guides, practical tips and tricks, and plenty of inspiration to encourage you to hit the road and explore what's out there. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, I'd love for you to sign up. You can find the link right there in the podcast app description, or head over to rvoutwest.com and join us there. The freedom of RVing is more than open roads and scenic overlooks. It's a way of experiencing this vast country in the same spirit of exploration that shaped our nation from its earliest days. As the United States prepares to celebrate its 250th birthday, there's never been a better time to hit the highway, discover stories etched into the land, and connect with the places that tell America's tales. RV travel invites us to slow down, find wonder in every horizon, and celebrate our shared heritage while forging our own adventures, 1 mile, 1 campfire, and 1 sunrise at a time. Today's guest is Monica from Go RVing, an organization dedicated to inspiring people to discover the freedom and possibilities that come with RV travel. Monica works at the intersection of storytelling, outreach, and education, helping new and seasoned RVers alike feel more confident about getting out on the road. Through initiatives like the RV-250 project, she's helping highlight the diverse landscapes, communities, and experiences that make RV travel such a powerful way to explore the country. We're excited to welcome Monica to the show to talk about her own connections to RVing, the work Go RVing is doing, and where she sees the future of the RV community heading. Monica, welcome to RV Out West. Thanks for joining us today.
I'm so glad to be here with you, Brooks. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I always like just kind of trying to get to know you a bit before we kind of talk about the work that you do. So, how did RVing first enter into your life? And then perhaps kind of what drew you to it in your adulthood?
Yeah, absolutely. RVing has always been a part of my life. My parents went RVing when they first met and their entire relationship. So I'm one of 5 kids born in Southern California. And so the RV, our motorhome, the one that I mostly remember was our 40-foot Dolphin that we went up and down the coast, took 2 and 3 week long vacations. That's what we did in the summer. Every sports thing that we did, we took the motorhome. So it's always been a part of my life. So 15 years ago, I joined the RV Industry Association, and when I saw a job opening there, I was like, this just kind of makes sense. And so it's been a part of my professional life now, for the last 15 years. But since birth, essentially, RVing has been part of me.
That's cool. So, what does RV travel kind of mean to you personally beyond just the mechanics of a trip?
I mean, there's no better way to spend time with family and friends. Like, you just get to unplug to the amount you want to. The great thing about RVs today is you don't have to completely unplug if you don't want to, but you do have the option to. My children absolutely love going out. We went down to Waco last year. I think was their most recent favorite trip. So it's just awesome to spend time with friends and family.
Have you taken the kids to Lukenbach yet for the chili cook-off?
No.
Mm,
Uh-uh. Not yet.
yeah. Also, I'm also the podcast host for the See America podcast with from RV Miles.
Oh, okay.
And last season, I did a whole episode on the world's largest rattlesnake roundup, which is in Sweetwater, Texas, and it is
No, thanks.
amazing.
I'm
Oh,
good.
it's amazing. I'm very curious. We are a Pacific Northwest kind of focused show. So have you spent any time traveling in the Pacific Northwest, either in an RV or otherwise? And if so, tell me a bit about your P&W travels.
Yeah, so my favorite story, for the Pacific Northwest is my when my dad turned 50, we surprised him at the Space Needle. I think I already mentioned I'm one of 5 kids, so all 5 of us flew in and we surprised him, like, at the top of the Space Needle. But the best part about it, that was awesome. All of my other siblings left, and then I stayed for another week, and with my dad and my stepmom, we went in the motorhome. They had a brand new puppy that, like, I slept on the couch with the new puppy in the motorhome. And I will say my favorite thing about the Pacific Northwest is blackberries are just everywhere. I think I ate my body weight in blackberries at this campground. My dad was like, "Where did you go?" I was like, "I was just walking through the campground eating blackberries." And I think I tried to take some home, like, at this point in time, I was in college in Boston. And so I, like, tried to take bags of blackberries home with me on the plane. They were good for smoothies after that travel.
Yeah, of
But,
course.
it was just such a wonderful time to spend with my dad and my stepmom and the puppy, and it's a core memory, and
That's
it's
great.
it's Pacific Northwest and RVing.
This feels like a great place to maybe zoom out a little bit and talk about some of the bigger pictures within RVing in the RV community. So, from your experience, what advice or mindset shift do you think helps new RVers feel a little bit more confident about starting out? Because it can be pretty overwhelming if you've never done it or not grown up in the, you know, community, if you will.
Yeah, and that's what Gore Being is here to help overcome some of those barriers. We work to both inspire people who have never even heard of RVing. This is a foreign concept to me that people are like, I don't even know what RVing is. One of the things Go RVing does is experiential events where we bring an RV to an air show, a concert, someplace where people woke up that day and didn't expect to see an RV. And one of the most enlightening things is people will walk into RVs and go, I I didn't know if they go like, "I didn't know there was a fireplace." Okay, like, you may not think that, but people who are like, "I didn't know there was a bed. I didn't know there was a kitchen." And so there are people who don't realize what these boxes going down the street, they've just never thought about what's in them. So seeing that on people's face being like, "Oh my goodness, like, this has all of this." So when you're taking someone from not even knowing what an RV is to then learning all of the systems. And that's where GoRVing tries to provide a lot of the resources, steps on how to set up your RV for the first time, things to know about checking into a campground. And so we try to provide a lot of those resources. And my biggest tip for anyone, it's for anything. You wouldn't travel overseas. You wouldn't get on a cruise ship. You wouldn't do a lot of things without researching it first. Like most people don't just show up and are like, let's
Yeah,
just
let's
try
go.
this. It's probably not going to turn out great.
Right?
And so that's the same thing with an RV is do the research ahead of time. There's so many resources out there. And number 2, just take it slow. I mean, there's the like 3-hour rule. First time you're going out, don't go further than 3 hours from home because number 1, you may forget something. And so being able to run back home. And also like let's get the kinks out. Let's not go more than 3 hours. And then just understand that it's going to be you need some time to get used to things. I mean, think about when you go to a hotel and you're like, "Where is the light switch?" Like, where every hotel, every short-term rental, they're different. Getting in a rental car, I assume everyone does this. You get in there and then you sit there for 5, 10 minutes. You're like, "Okay, where are all the buttons in this?"
Exactly.
And an RV is no different. I mean, it's a vehicle. So taking that time to just go, okay, where are all the things? How do all the buttons work? How does this work? Those are my recommendations for the first timers.
So really, I'm really curious about kind of how Go RVing balances that inspiration with education, especially for people who are curious. Kind of, we had talked a little bit about it, but what do you guys do to kind of balance that part of the piece to inspire people to go and then to educate them?
So really that inspiration is the bulk of what we do is where Go RVing operates, is we really want people to know that RVing is affordable. It is one of the most affordable ways to travel because you've got your accommodations and your transportation in one. You can make your own food. Like there are a lot of free low cost things that you can do in campgrounds and with outdoor recreation. So it's one of the most affordable ways to travel. Now it does have an upfront cost, but that this is one of the ways that you can get out there and explore your community, America as a whole, the greater continent. So really trying to share those real life stories. We have been leaning in more on influencers, which that's just marketing these days, but putting people who have never RV'd before in an RV and having them show that experience to their followers, which gets to what you're talking about. Like there is a learning curve there, but also people who've never done this before and going and having these great adventures. And then also sharing all the different ways you can RV that you don't have to it's not your New Year's resolution is to become an RVer this year, and that means I'm gonna change my entire life. No, like if you have kids who do sports, do you know what's a great way to recuperate in between games at a tournament is to have the RV. You are going to be the most favorite, most popular parent if you're able to provide a climate controlled snacks galore place for people to go. If you like tailgating, if you want to get off the grid. There's all these different things that, or if you like a lot of luxury, you're like, I really like hotels. Well, you should check out some of the RVs these days because they can put a lot of hotels to shame. So there's something for everyone, and you don't have to change who you are. There's an RV that can complement your current life, and that's the message we really want to get out there because there may be a stereotype for what a typical RVer is, and the truth is there's not a typical RVer. That doesn't exist.
No, and that's true about the whole kids sports things. My daughter is on a competitive cheerleading team, and so we go to tournaments and I mean, when it's not tournaments, but we call whatever competitions. And so we've left Seattle and drove down to Vegas and stayed at campgrounds in Vegas while we were, and that way my daughter could sleep in her own bed and wake up and hair and makeup and high bow and all of that stuff was done in the trailer versus and so everybody was comfortable and yeah, no, I totally get that. I can imagine. I don't have kids who do soccer or baseball or those kind of outdoorsy sports, but having that at the ball field to be able to go and
Yeah.
get warm after a rainy game and have lunch would be just brilliant.
That's what I grew up doing. My I played soccer for a while, but my sister was very competitive soccer player. So the amount of times we and let's be clear, for the siblings also that are coming along, having a nice place for them to be. And I did horse showing.
Okay.
And so that's a big part of that as well. And so yeah, the motorhome went with us everywhere.
Yeah, that's great. Quick pause in the conversation to give a shout out to our longtime podcast sponsor, Camper Alerts, who helps make episodes like this possible. After the break, we are diving into what the RV-250 project is and what it means for you. The seasons may have changed, but that doesn't make it any easier to find available campsites. Now, you can get notified of sold out campsites when they become available with Camper Alerts. Choose your campground, pick your RV specific filters, and set an alert. It's that simple. Visit camperalerts.com today and start setting your alerts. Thanks for staying with us. Let's get back to our conversation with Monica of Go RVing. Now, with 2026 here, Happy New Year, by the way, belated Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all the listeners. Happy New Year to everybody. I am really, really interested in the RV 250 project. And I want to first, can you just kind of tell us about it, what inspired it, why Go RVing kind of got behind it, and give us just the high level of what the RV-250 project is.
Absolutely. So I really love this project. So America turns 250 this year, which is so cool, so fun, a big cultural moment. There's the official America 250 campaign. Every department, federal government department is doing something. So the Department of Transportation is doing the Great American Road Trip for the 250th. Everyone is doing something. It was just obvious. Like, what is a better way to see America than in an RV? And so early last year, this was something that we're like, this is something we really want to like own, is this idea of celebrate America's 250th in an RV. So RV-250. So it's a play on like the 250th and also to the 50 states. No one come at me. I know we can't take an RV to Hawaii, but it still works. You can maybe go and rent one
It's
or how much you
doable.
want to spend. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's doable.
Anything's doable.
Anything's doable. Just how
Um,
much money do you want to throw at the problem?
Exactly. So what Go RVing is doing is we just want to create again that inspiration of here are all of the different ways that you can go out and celebrate our great country with an RV trip. So we kicked it off a year out, so actually last summer, and we initially released 3 travel guides. So really the main focus of the RV-250 is providing inspirational travel guides for people. You don't have to take this exact trip, but it's more like you could, but also here are all the different things you could do. So we did a 6-month one. If you want to take 6 months off and go really see America, we've got a 6-month itinerary for you. If you want to do something a little more feasible that's 6 weeks that could even be broken up, then we got a 6-week one. And then we did a long weekend around the DC metro area
Okay.
to hit some of our nation's capital highlights. So that's how we started it last summer. And we have been building out travel guides, working with a number of DMOs, the local travel organizations for different states.
What does DMO stand for? I'm not familiar with that.
Destination Marketing Organization, I think is what
Got it.
they
Okay.
it's one of those things that's just like an acronym now, but it's that your tourism offices. So
Okay. Yeah.
so like Travel Oregon or Visit Portland, Visit Cannon Beach, Visit Bend, and Visit Idaho. Those are in particular the DMOs that helped us put together a Pacific Northwest
Cool.
travel itinerary
Yeah.
that we have live on the Go RVing website right now, and to really inspire people to go take their RV trip out in your area.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing out here. It's where the mountains meet the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, that is a really cool project. Are you asking then too on the RV-250 project, is there any opportunity for users to tag and flag and upload their own content so Go RVing can mass compile all of these experiences to really celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States?
Absolutely. So something that is going to be launching later in January is we have a passport program. So there are going to be physical passports that are going to be available for pickup at dealers and maybe some campgrounds. It's basically locations that tell us they want to have some of these. GoRVing is going to be sending them out.
Okay.
We will have a landing page where people can see where they can pick one up. They can also download just if you want to print out one on your own because you can't visit one of these places. That's great too. But what we would love for people to do is it's a travel journal. So when they take a trip, maybe it's one of the RV-250 trips that we have the itineraries for, or it's your own trip. Put down your highlights and all of that. It's a nice little travel journal. But what we would love is for people to upload some photos and video from their trips to Go RVing, and there's going to be a portal to be able to do that. And the first 250 people who do so will get some Go RVing swag, but everyone is going to be entered into a larger drawing for a grand prize.
Can you tease what that grand prize is yet, or do you know?
So the grand prize is to have your campground fees paid for the year up to $5,000.
Cool. That is really exciting. I could do a lot of trips with that.
Yeah.
What kinda is your hope that RVers will take away from the RV-250 project when we're now, let's say, a year down the road and it's now January 2027? What are you hoping that people will have as their takeaway from this project?
So I hope this doesn't sound too corny, but like we're really trying to get our viewers to raise their hands and be like, I love this. Like, look at this amazing trip that I was able to take. Look at what I was able to do with my family. Look what I was able to do with my friends. And tying it to this cultural moment where everyone should be loving that it's our country's 250th birthday. Like, that's a really great thing to celebrate, and that RVing is an integral part of that. So, just wanna create this groundswell, and that maybe someone you're following on social, or you see, "Oh, they're an RVer too," and having people, because there are 8.1 million RV owning households out there, and there are a lot that you don't know that you could be playing sports with someone for a decade and not know that they are an RVer. So that, just creating more of that community, and the RVing community is already fantastic, but just having more people raise their hand and be like, "I'm an RVer and I love it."
Yeah, that's so true. I've told this story, but my wife grew up not being a camper, so I was the one that inspired her to be a camper. And when it came time for us in our early 40s to think about, maybe we had 2 young kids at that time, and we weren't talking about it, she said it wasn't camping, and we had this whole debate about it wasn't camping, and I was like, "What are you t we're still camping, but, like, come on." And now I don't go camping unless I can bring my ice machine. I need the rocks for the cocktails, like, it's an important part of the campfire. So, I've come a long way from a backpack in the North Cascades to I now schlep an ice machine, and I am not apologizing for it. So,
You definitely wanna get off the ground at some point also. Like, that's the some of the hardcore campers, like, come around and they're like, "You know what?
yeah,
A bed would be nice." Like,
yeah,
you
it
can
does.
still rough it, like, and there are still some great RVs out there that you can get, um, not everywhere you can get with just a backpack, but can get you to the trailheads
Yeah,
and, come back and have a little more comfort, at night.
yeah, like those tiny little teardrops that you can tow behind a Jeep. They have a high clearance for Forest Service roads, and yet you'll have a bed and a kitchen. So, yeah, it's great. Before we kinda wrap up, I very much would like to step back and just kind of do a little bit of a reflection. And after hearing so many stories over your 15-year span there working for Go RVing, what do you think RV travel offers people that other forms of travel often don't?
Yeah. So you when we know this from Gorving does a ton of research. And so we know that while there's no typical RVer, people want to be able to set their own pace. They want to be able to have that feeling of home and be able to access adventure. So let's make no confusion. Like, other forms of travel are coming for the RVing audience. You've got hotels that are doing more outdoor experiences, short-term rentals like Airbnb and the like. But things like, yeah, those are in great secluded places, but you are literally in someone else's home. Like, you don't have your own space. Cruises and things like that, they have great itineraries, great like places to go and visit, but you're on someone else's schedule. Like, you don't get to say, I mean, you can miss the boat, but that is gonna have some repercussions there. You don't get to say, "Actually, I like this place. I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer." And that's not an option. And so there are a lot of travel options out there. We also know that RVers do a lot of different types of travel, but there's something about being able to set your own pace, have the affordability, like, have all of your stuff there, that just there's no other form of travel that offers you that.
And that is so true. How has working so close with the RV community shape the way that you think about Americans?
Oh, I mean, RVers are just some of the best people out there. You were asking earlier about that first timer. And if you need help in the campground, my mom goes and she's got her motorhome and she goes out RVing on her own. And every time she comes back, she's like, "Oh, and the nice gentleman next door, the nice lady in the other one helped me with what I needed." Like they are RVers are just some of the very best people in our country. And it's an amazing community that is looking out for each other and there to help. Come bring the cocktail over at the campfire. Just great people.
Yep. I was camping in Pennsylvania. I was on a cross country road trip in my RV, and my water connection was leaking badly. And I was outside trying to connect, and reconnect and like look and all of that. And some old timer came up with a bag of washers for garden hoses. And he was like, "Here, I think you need one of these." And he gave me one and put it in, and it stopped my leak. And I was like, boom, I now need to make sure that I have a bag of garden hose washers in my like tool bag kit in my RV for this exact reason. And that was not something I had on board. And it was just, yeah, it was very cool and helped me.
Yep, absolutely.
What do you think the open road represents for people today?
I mean, it's especially like we've been talking about America's 250, like the freedom, like you have the options. It's unlimited potential. Where do you want to go? And it's a little bit of a cliche, but like it's true also. It's just freedom, and then with the RV, it's the flexibility. Freedom, flexibility, and then control. Like you get to control your environment, you control your senses, like all of that. Freedom, flexibility, but also control are the most succinct ways that I describe the RV lifestyle.
I think the open road and the idea of a road trip is really quintessentially American. Our interstate highways
Absolutely.
were built, and even what's cool about this RV-250 project too is that we're also celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Mother Road this year.
Route
And so Route
66.
66 is hitting 100. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to kind of celebrate the road trip
Mhm.
in 2026 this year. It's pretty amazing. And to have our interstate systems like we do, to be able to just go, it's pretty amazing. What gives you the most hope or excitement when you think about the future of RVing? And I'm going to include the community in that, but kind of using your knowledge as a RV industry insider and expert, kind of what's giving you the most hope or excitement when you think about the future of RVing?
So we do a demographic profile, every 3 to 4 years, and the last one came out a little under a year ago. The median age of an RVer has dropped from 53 to 49, which is a significant drop in 3 years. RVers are now younger, they're more diverse, and they have more kids in the home, which means we are introducing RVing to a younger generation at a greater level than we have been doing in the past. And we know it's great that you have brought your wife along and into the RV lifestyle, but we know that one of the primary indicators of whether someone's going to own an RV as an adult is if they went RVing or camping as a child. And so getting this is great for the RV industry as a whole. It's also great for the RV community. Having more younger, more diverse is also like so important. Everyone, and this is something that Go RVing has been doing for decades. Everyone should be able to see themselves as an RVer. Go RVing works very hard to make sure that our advertising, our marketing shows everyone. You should be able to see yourself in a Go RVing ad, and because that's representative of who RVers are. So that's what makes me like really hopeful for the future is RVing truly is for everyone.
I know my 14-year-old son is already talking about an RV that he wants to get when he, you know, is an adult and looking at that road, which is exciting. Well, where can people follow along and learn more about Go RVing and the RV-250 project?
Head over to garving.com. There is an RV-250 page linked from the homepage. We are also on all of the socials. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We've got a lot of those itineraries on Pinterest as well. So, yeah, we're pretty much anywhere online.
And then my final question, what RV trip are you most excited about personally that you and your family are going to be taking in 2026?
So we are hoping to do a Grand Canyon trip. I've been to the Grand Canyon a couple times on one of those RV trips as a child, but my girls were born in Virginia. I live in Texas now, but we have not been out to the Grand Canyon. Actually, my husband has never been to the Grand Canyon out either. So that is the trip I'm trying to make happen this year.
Very exciting. We did on our final loop back, we did that. And I have a memory I will absolutely take to the grave. My daughter was probably 7, I think, at the time. And I'm holding her hand as we're walking from the parking lot to go to the rim. And unprovoked, when she got to the rim, she just went, whoa. And like that was her honest reaction. It wasn't planned, it wasn't staged. It just blew her little 7-year-old mind. And that is absolutely that one single word I will be taking to my grave.
That's awesome.
When my life passes before me, that will be, I'm sure,
Yeah,
in that
it's amazing.
that sizzle reel. Well, Monica, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to chat with us here at RV Out West. I really appreciate it. It's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on. It has been fantastic talking with you.
Before we wrap up, be sure to head over to rvoutwest.com for the full show notes and links to all the resources we talked about in this episode. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. It's where we share new episodes, destination guides, stories from the road, and thoughtful tips to inspire your next adventure. You can sign up using the link in this episode's podcast description, the link in our Instagram bio, or directly on our website at rvoutwest.com. Next Monday, we sit down with Jeremy and Candace of Fairwinds RV, a pair of full-time travelers who've built a life around the road. He's an RV technician, she's a steady compass, and together they've seen the highs, the hiccups, and the hidden truths of life on wheels. Their story winds through long highways, real-world fixes, and lessons you only learn by living it day after day. Where the conversation goes from there? Well, you'll just have to tune in to find out. Thanks so much for listening to RV Out West. Join us again next week. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you choose to get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I sure would appreciate it if you left a rating or a review of the show. Special thanks to Scott Holmes Music for providing us the intro song, We Are One. RV Out West can be found on Instagram and Facebook, where you can interact with us and follow along on our RV adventures around the Pacific Northwest. So get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.